Hey guys, just out here. You might remember before I got the old Rona, I had a hose break here on the tractor. The hydraulic cylinder lost the hose for the push out force, and I'm just out checking. Ordered a piece. Couldn't leave the house for a while, so I ordered it, and then it took forever to get here. So I'm just out here messing with that. I also wanted to address, so here I am in the snowy Northwest Pennsylvania. I had the question that came to me from a friend of mine online the other day that said, "Hey Bob, where's all your snow?" Well, I've got a video to show you, and I want you to understand something about where we live in Northwest Pennsylvania and how the snow works and how the microclimates work here. So come along with me. I think you'll find this interesting. It's just a matter of degrees and elevation. So not a lot of snow down here.
The snowflake dissolving on our faces and dreams. You're wandering in cold air, in winter days, just you and me. A long night and short days. It's time for dreams and music, winter rain and green days, in winter days, just you and me. We're walking on the snow. We leave the past behind us on the way, on future days, in winter days, just you and me. In winter days, just you and me. You and me. In winter days, just you and me.
On its northward journey to New York, and then it travels back south again to Pennsylvania. Which is not down here, but there's below this hill. 1,500 feet elevation, 34 degrees. Let's see what we hit as we climb. We're climbing pretty fast. There's 1,600 feet. $33 degrees. 1,700 feet. Yeah, it's an interesting place. Did it used to be a restaurant? Almost like one. And we'll hit 2,200 feet going across the Allegheny plateau here. Let's see what the temperature does, but we're back up into where the temperature just As we leave Smethport, we're above freezing at 34 degrees and 1,529 feet. We begin a pretty serious climb here for the next couple miles. We'll be heading towards the Allegheny Plateau. So as we climb, you're going to notice as the elevation increases, we're going to see some temperature decreases. So up the mountain we go, and we're at 2,100 feet, and all of a sudden it's 32 degrees. Not too far from here, we're going to hit our highest point before we get to the top of the Allegheny Plateau, which is 2,209 feet.
Now we're up on the Allegheny Plateau, so you see how it's like more flat.
As we travel across the plateau, you'll notice that the snowpack is considerably deeper. This is one of the reasons that I really like living here, because even when we have a mild January like we've got now, there's still snow very close to where we're at. We can usually find it pretty quickly. We either go east or we go north, or we go west, or sometimes we even go south. So as we travel across the plateau, it's a beautiful day for driving. It's a wonderful time to spend with Amy, and we get to reminisce about some of the places we've been. Coming up here, you're going to see Morrison Trailhead, which is a great place to hike. It has a great campground down on the reservoir. If you ever get in the area, check it out. At this point, we begin our descent towards the Allegheny Reservoir. It was created when Kinzua Dam was built, beginning in 1960 and completed in 1965. It took 2 years to fill, so 1967 is when it filled. It wasn't built without controversy, and I'll talk about that in just a moment. But as we descend, it gets warmer.
The snow as we come down.
As we cross the bridge, we're about 100 feet above the surface of the reservoir. This is the Allegheny Reservoir created by the Kinzua Dam. And as we travel, I figure I'd tell you a little bit about the dam. The dam was built in response to a major flood that had struck Pittsburgh in 1936. It really caused widespread damage. So Congress passed the Flood Control Acts of 1936 and 1938. And they planned on building a dam on the Allegheny River. It wasn't until 1960 that they began building it. There was considerable opposition to the dam because the Seneca Nation of Indians based in New York, right up in Salamanca, they were opposed to it. And they were opposed because the land that they would be building the dam on wasn't really necessarily their land, but the flooded land was going to be part of the corn planter tract in Pennsylvania. So there was about 600 families who were displaced. There were small communities that were ended up being flooded because of it. Now the dam itself is said to have saved over $1 billion in flood damage since it was built. Further downriver, it protected Pittsburgh and all the communities from Warren down to Pittsburgh. So even though there was great controversy over it, there have been some beneficial effects of it. It's the largest earth and concrete dam in the eastern United States. So as we carry on down the Allegheny River and we've passed the dam, we continue to descend. Now we're going to end up down here at just a little bit below 1,200 feet. 1,199 feet, and you'll see that the temperature increases. So as we make the journey into Warren, we're going to close the video by taking the vehicle in and washing it. We appreciate you joining us on this trip. Hopefully it'll help you understand our microclimates. We live in an amazing area.
It's 34 degrees now. Figured we could do a car wash chat.
Okay,
How's that sound?
good.
All right. So what did we do today?
We went out to Port Allegheny.
So Port Allegheny is east of where we live, and temperature here around our house has been about 35 degrees today, right? And as we went over, what happened?
As we got to higher elevations, there's a lot more snow.
A lot more snow. Temperatures were lower. Beautiful drive.
It was.
And we went through Smethport first and then Port Allegheny, and we were over there just checking out sort of the lay of the land, so to speak. So
It was a nice drive.
it was a nice drive. It was a nice drive. Definitely some nice land over there, some nice views, mountains, Allegheny River. I liked it. Had a good time. It's one of the reasons I enjoy living over here in Northwest Pennsylvania. It's a little bit different than where we were from in Ohio, right?
Yeah.
Ohio.
Hillier here.
Yeah.
Definitely hillier here.
Yeah, yep. And it's on days like today. It's been a mild January though. I mean, 35 degrees in January is pretty warm, but the high and some of the highest points we were driving through was really only 30 degrees was the highest that we saw in those areas. We saw 30, 31, anywhere from 30 through 35. And I really like seeing the microclimates like that. I like seeing the small towns. It's getting a little noisy.
Yeah.
I wish there was more businesses. There's a lot of empty businesses.
It was, yeah.
And I wish there was more businesses in those small towns. What's one thing that we saw in almost every small town we went through, business-wise?
Empty buildings. Is that what
Empty
you mean?
buildings, but what business? What business did we see in almost every small town? We saw multiple ones of them.
I'm not sure which one you mean.
Really? All those Dollar Generals that we
Oh,
saw?
Dollar General, yes.
I mean, we must have seen 4 Dollar Generals
So quite a few.
in a fairly short area there. So I'm sure a lot of those have probably hurt some of the small businesses. But there's also, I mean, when you have a brick and mortar store like that, a lot of times those small businesses aren't, and I don't know if it's they can't or if they're just sort of stuck in a business model that to me, I think there's just a lot of times people get inflexible and they get stuck into a business model, and maybe they wouldn't make as much per sale if they change their prices, but maybe they get more business. Anyways, we're wiping off some of the grime of the road. Really loud. Wiping off some of the grime of the road, even though it's still grimy out, just to knock off some of that salt. So, good day today. Had fun.
It was a lot of fun, yeah.
Yep. And we'll catch you next time.